Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creatively on Sunday the 24th, I think, of January with FLOSSTUBE number 60. I don't know that I actually brushed my hair, so I apologise. I just had my neighbours over for morning tea. So continues my birthday, let's call it month, being a social butterfly. I aged on Monday, so last night yesterday afternoon I went round to a lady, to a 50th birthday, someone I met through other friends, and unfortunately for her the weather went a bit shit, so it started raining and it was sort of a partially outside function. We had various things for shelter, but it just ended up being lots of people inside, and I left when the drunken people started to get to that point where, yeah, I've heard that story 5 times, and you know, a couple of glasses had been knocked over, and it's like, yeah, I'm going before it gets a little crazy. But yeah, I've had a lovely week off and done lots of bits and pieces. The weather was kind of crap for a few days, which like lots of gale force winds, so crappy weather means I got to do some stitching. I read a couple of novels. One day I actually read like one novel from cover to cover, and I haven't done that for such a long time, so that was really lovely to sit down and just do that. I've done a little bit of stitching. What else has been going on? Yeah, tomorrow is the last day of my vacation. Tomorrow, Monday, is Wellington anniversary weekend here in this part of the world, so us, the Greater Wellington region, gets the day off, so I go back to work on Tuesday, so hopefully tomorrow I'll get a little bit more. Got half of my fence water blasted and carry on with the other half tomorrow. My nephew got his 3rd negative COVID test, so he got sprung from quarantine on Wednesday night, so that's really good. So happy for him, because it was a bit stressful. I mean, he hasn't been able to work, and also, you know, it's a bit worrying that you might have it, and he didn't, so that's good. That's pretty much it, I think. Oh, I got a, I won't show you because it's like DMC, but had a wee lunch with a couple of friends. So my friend Tracy, who I stitched the Waiting on a, no, what's it called? Enjoying a Summer's Evening, the Lynette kit for. She gave me all of her DMC stash, because she is very unlikely to stitch much, if anything. Basically, she's like, I might as well have it. So I think when she used to work for a framer a former employer who did framing and who had craft stuff, Tracy, sometimes she got paid in product, so she just would randomly grab handfuls of DMC off the shelf. So she's got quite a lot of duplicates, but yeah, that was quite nice. I've got 3 Ziploc bags, lunch size Ziploc bags of DMC, which was very kind of her. Another friend from Whakatane sent me just this booklet that she picked up at a book sale. It's quite interesting. It's got some neat charts actually. I'm not sure how, I really like this design. I'm not sure I'd want a cushion, but I don't know, I have to think about how I could use some of these in the future. It has mostly like table linens and cushions and things using what they call Mediterranean sort of designs. Doesn't say much about them, but they sort of are all named for different regions. Tablecloths and things. So, but some of the designs are quite cool. Like I think this is quite cool. It's a neat little kind of puzzle design, really. So yeah, it was a neat little booklet that she sent me. It was kind of fun to flick through. But yeah, I don't know, put it aside. Something might happen one day. I got a little bit of haul, a tiny bit of haul in. I got my, I haven't even opened it, my January Rainbow Club from Country Stitch. So I asked her to switch to 32 count for a bit, just to build up a little bit of 32 count stash. And it's a quarter in Pirongia Mist. And it's a very, very pretty ice blue. So it's a very usable fabric. Don't have plans for it right now, but happy to have it. So pop that into the old stash. But I also don't have to show you because it's thread, but I'd also quite a big pile of some DMC and fancy floss, so Gast, Classic Colourworks, and Weeks Dye Works. So just to finish the kitting up of the 2 Plum Streets, the Emily's House, and the Oriental Lady Grace. So just a handful of stuff. I also had a number of vouchers for different places. So I had a $10 birthday voucher at at Lindcraft, and a $10 birthday voucher at Spotlight. So I went and bought some floss, just again some stash, to replace some floss in my master set that was getting a bit low. So that was, just basically a whole lot of thread. So that's looking pretty good. And that's all that's come in. Yeah. I have a little bit of stitching to show you, so I'll get on with that. One thing I forgot to show you, this actually should have been the last week's video, which I called all the Aida, but I forgot that I'd actually finished the January Modern Folk Embroidery SAL, the Fruits of Plenty, the 2021 SAL. I'd finished the January block, which I think when I last showed this I hadn't finished. I might have made a start on the centre motif. I'd certainly done all the outside, and that is on 40 count Toitoi linen from Country Stitch. It was from a previous Rainbow Club, and I'm using DMC 919 and 922 1/2. So that's all ready for the next part to drop later in, I guess, 1st of February. It will be the 2nd of February here in New Zealand. So I was very happy to get that finished. But yeah, I was meant to show you that last week, but I basically forgot. So what I stitched on this week, I picked up my Fractal 95 bookmark from Cross Stitch Collectibles. If you like this is currently, so this was come out last year as one of their free months. It is currently January 2021's free month. So if you like it, or you want to put it into your stash and not pay for it, if you go to Cross Stitch Collectibles, and go to the free section, they have this month. So it'll be up until the 31st of January. So you got a week basically to get it if you like it. So yeah, it's currently, it looks like they're repeating them. Fine, it's their prerogative. I filled in a lot more here, so I've now fully completed 50 rows of this chart, and then I did basically everything up here is new as well. So as I pick a colour, I then work my way up. I watched several episodes of, I'm still way behind, Westworld season 2 while I was stitching this, because I just remember what I was stitching when I was doing it. So yeah, that's coming along really well. So that one, in theory, for me to finish that within a year, I have to get that finished by March. I don't know that that's going to happen, but I'll at least have a jolly good chunk of it done. And it's just on 18 count, I think, antique white Aida. Then I picked up my Peppermint Purple Mandala Millifiori part 2 to finish. I'm doing this sort of quite significant conversion. Probably a third of it called for and the rest of it changed. So stitching this on 18 count Aida from Firtnight Fabric. It doesn't have a name. It was I won it as one of their giveaways. And yeah, stitching with a partial conversion DMC. And I can't work out which is the top. So I had to finish off the back stitching, the black work on these 3, and then I've outlined where they don't overlap with the dark navy that I'm using instead of black. So I don't know, part 3 is due out on the 25th, which that's UK time, so that'll be the 26th, so it'll be on Tuesday our time, so that'll come out this week. Yeah, I'm liking it. It's quite, what I like about it is it's a little more subtle than if it was on white, and I know that it's where you don't see some of the detail, but I kind of like, I like it. It's fun. Basically, it's a very low cost project, since I didn't pay for the Aida. It was a freebie, so I got that finished. And I also worked on if I could find a cover sheet, that would be fantastic. I worked on my Turkish tiles, another square of my Turkish tiles. So this was a SAL, this is a paid SAL, as is the Millifiori, that's a paid SAL. So I did, and I'm stitching this on 28 count Lugana, unknown colour, and I'm doing a conversion. So I got one more tile done, that one in here, and that was like, and I started watching Sex and the City from the beginning again, and so I remember stitching this while watching Sex and the City. Funny. So another tile done. I'm just going to keep plugging away on that, you know, a tile or 2 a month until I get that done. I want to take photos. And then in the same bag, I also, the next part for the Peppermint Purple 2021 SAL dropped. So I stitched that, which is this one. And then I also started on the background fill-in. So I figure as I do the next block or 2, I'll do a little bit more and just keep working my way around. Not aiming to get it done in a hurry, but aiming to have it done so that when I finish, like this last year, when I finish the last block, it'll be finished. So I've got to work out where my date and initials will go in down here somewhere, so I have to work that out yet. So that's looking good. So that is on 18 count antique white Aida with call for DMC. So that all of my whips, and then you may recall that I had a start on my birthday, which is the 18th of January, and that is my Red Deer sampler. Oh, I'll take it out. Oh, it's plastic on plastic on plastic. Red Deer sampler from Gigi, and I'm stitching it. I haven't written my start date. I'll do that now. 18/01/2021. So I'm stitching this on 36 count Pumice Edinburgh from Country Stitch, and I'm using mostly my own conversion, mostly Victorian Motto threads. I made a couple of changes already from what I originally said because it just didn't work, but that's okay. And I started this, and it is going to look very different. Oh, I should have got a board. I didn't. It's going to look very different because my colours are going to be, yeah, they're just going to be very different. And the green of the vines, around the leaves, around all the flowers, is quite a lot lighter than the called for, which was gone out of my head, which itself was lighter than what the pattern, the original sampler. But I'm going to be making quite a few little changes as I go, so it's going to look, you know, quite unique. So on here, this, you know, the vine work is very dark. I just didn't have anything in my stash that would be anywhere near that dark without it being chocolate brown. The called for was piney woods, which is not that dark. So the piney woods itself was going to be lighter. And I've just gone with a lighter green. So mine is going to be, I'm going to say softer. And the cool, yeah, I'm just not using anything called for really, but I got all of that done. That's 3/4 of the border. It's quite quick to stitch because it's very repetitive. So each of the only things that are different are each of the corners of how you turn the corner. They're not the same, but the greenery all the way up is exactly the same. So I basically pull a whole 6 strands of the green. I stitch up, and then once I finish that, I fill in the colours. Then I stitch the next 6 strands of green and fill in the colours. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's just so pretty. And I really like that it's going to be quite different too. Like this is, I don't know, it's just not going to be this dark. So this to me is quite dominated by the dark and the red. This is going to be softer, so it's going to be different. It's going to be great. So I got all of that done, which is quite a lot, but it didn't work all week. So yeah, and I didn't stitch all week either, but I did have a lot more stitching time. I think, I mean, Monday, my birthday, I just, apart from going out for coffee with a friend, I stitched most of the day and I got half the border. I got two lengths of border done on the Monday, and then I got the other row of border done one other day. Yeah, that's all I've got. So that's all my stitching. Very happy with it, and I'll carry on. It'll be good to get the border finished this week coming on that, and other than that, I don't know what I'm going to be doing this week. It'll be a surprise. So yeah, I'll finish this up. Pretty short and quick-ish for me. I will see you all next week. Have fun with your stitching, and as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao!